I think there's nothing more powerful and more important than a literate citizen.
Literacy is the most important currency of the knowledge economy.
It's important to be literate so that you can be a critical consumer of knowledge.
Literacy now and literacy is everywhere, but literacy it's lives.
The purpose of the CNUSD Literacy is Everywhere conference is really to create a space where educators within our own district of CNUSD can come together, can learn from each other, can share best practices.
All teachers that touch the lives of students every single day, be they classified in the classroom, outside of the classroom, we all embrace the idea of literacy being important.
And really to be reminded that literacy instruction is the most important thing that we can do in our classrooms for all of our kids in all of our content areas.
My keynote today is entitled Literacy and Justice for All, Developing Readers and Writers in Perilous Times. But I want people to understand that literacy in and of itself is not a good. It has to be an empowering literacy.
The power that social emotional learning has to facilitate academic learning. I think it's really important to focus on developing social emotional skills when a kid feels safe in a classroom and valued and like they belong and they're part of that learning community, they do better.
I focus on 4 areas that are those areas that the state of California has described as the shifts in the history social science adoption. So that's literacy, inquiry, that's citizenship, and that's an expanded sense of content. Around those 4 areas, I ask the question, literacy for what?
So my keynote was basically using my own personal story, my anecdotes, my experience, to remind them what's most important and why what we do has a more lasting impact than most people know or give us credit for.
I loved hearing from Dr. Ernest Morrell yesterday, especially looking at value pieces and valuation that is reflected in the media that we use, how we use it, and even the tools we use.
Nicholas Ferroni, his quote that kids who are loved at home come to school to learn, but kids who aren't loved at home come to school to be loved.
Super excited this year that so many of our keynotes brought up social emotional learning, that we have to start with social emotional learning, and that works well because in CNUSD our pillars are social emotional support and academic rigor and excellence.
We're really excited to have breakout sessions on NGSS, math, innovative practices, technology.
So my breakout session really drills down on critical media pedagogy. So what does it mean to teach kids about the media?
Flipgrid and how you can flip the way a classroom is run. Just getting kids to take ownership of what they've learned, but to also give them voice and to let them know that your voice matters too.
I'm going to do a breakout specifically focused on the Fair Education Act.
Mathematical sense making to see how they might connect what they're already doing with literacy into what they could do with math.
Utilizing creativity to engage and educate, provide them with their ability to share their gifts, their passions, and put them in a position to where they're successful.
So the second breakout is about disciplinary literacy.
Routines for reasoning, which is offered for our elementary teachers.
4 instructional shifts that are happening with the new history social science framework.
So everybody had, a varied menu of what they wanted to go to, because that's the whole premise, is literacy is everywhere.
21st century is all about making sure that we are good readers, good writers, and good speakers.
So literacy has to be connected to justice.
I believe it's unlocking the minds of our students for the future.
To help students understand what it means to read, to write, and to think like a historian, or like a scientist, or like a writer of literature.
Being able to navigate through a variety of different texts.
Print literacy, it could be digital literacy, it could be literacy through videos, through pictures.
Be aware of what you're reading and to be more thoughtful in what you're writing.
Literacy is important so that if I do not like the narratives that I hear, I can re-narrativize, right? I can tell my own stories. I can transmit culture to my friends, to my family, to my siblings, to the children who come after me, and grandchildren. We can tell ourselves our own stories through our own words.
Literacy is the foundation and the base of all we do in Corona Norco. Most importantly with our students, but of course with our parents and our community as well.
The conference really highlights the importance of why every aspect of a student's life needs to be touched by the love of literacy.
The best way that we have to learn is from each other. And I love that a lot of the speakers and the workshops and breakout sessions are all local CNUSD, CNTA members.
It shows that within our district we have so many valuable and knowledgeable educators.
How teachers are so important. Remember the teachers that affected you and then keep making that difference in the classroom every day.
I take a lot of pride in what I do because what I do matters long term for these students. And literacy now and literacy is everywhere, but literacy it's lives. It's not just a thing, a term, a word. It's their life, and it's where their life's going to end up. So it matters, and it is everywhere.